So I've been following the news and various social media outlets and various talking heads, and it looks like a lot of people speculate that we're in an everything bubble. The crypto market is currently going nuts. You have the stock market, which is growing at an unsustainable rate and much faster than what seems reasonable or realistic too. The real estate market is going absolutely nuts. It's definitely a seller's market. Apparently there's a shortage of homes. Buyers are way overbidding on houses, and sellers are making out really well on the homes that they have. Thanks for clicking on this video, by the way. I'm just some dude on a treadmill. To give you a little backstory on what's going on here, I'm currently on break during a 16-hour shift working as an in-home caregiver, and I'm using the treadmill in the basement. Get some exercise, break up the day a little bit here. I promised all my viewers and myself that I would post every single day here on YouTube, partially as an experiment to track my progress as a content creator throughout the whole entire year. Every single day. It's insane, I know. But also because I got a lot of stuff to say, and I usually don't say. I usually keep everything to myself. And this has been really, really healthy for me to be able to get my thoughts out into the world and to express myself, not only as an artist, but also as a human being. And it's also in a way been an accelerated learning course on how to make videos and how to edit videos and sound and light levels and all sorts of stuff. But back to the point of this video, I really do think that we're in this sort of everything bubble at the moment, and it's hard to tell what's going to pop first or how this market thing actually does work. I'm by no means an expert. I am purely just another speculator out there, just like all the other talking heads you see on the news and on YouTube and all the people that want to talk about the economy and cryptocurrency and real estate and the financial markets and the stock market. No one has a crystal ball. No one knows what's going to happen, and all we can do is make our best guess. And right now, with the markets climbing up the way they are, it looks like everyone's betting on the markets to climb up even further. And when this happens, historically, you see kind of like a vertical increase, much like the crypto markets, much like the real estate markets, much like the stock markets seem to be heading, and then it's followed by an inevitable crash. Things can't just keep going up forever. So to bring even more relevance to all of this, the reason I'm talking about this here today is because I am in the market to buy a home, and I found a home that I was finally interested in putting an offer in. So I put an offer in, and I offered them $2,000 more than their asking price. They wanted $138,000, and I offered $140,000. I really want a home. I know that the prices are inflated quite a bit right now at the moment. On the other hand, though, the interest rates are incredibly low. So if you take a look at the long term, how much you end up paying due to interest rates being this low, it's probably going to even out in the long run anyways with how much money you actually fork over. It's funny how little people pay attention to interest rates. A lot of people pay attention to monthly payments and the principal amount without actually thinking about how the interest rates affects things. They might think, oh, it's just 1% or it's just 5%. What's 5%? It's a huge, huge difference, in fact, if you take a look at how compound interest works and apply it over a long period of time. It can mean a difference of tens of thousands of dollars. So by me giving them an offer of $2,000 more is really not that much, but it sweetened the pot enough for them to agree to my terms and conditions. I had all my ducks in a row, I had all my paperwork done, I offered them $2,000 extra, I offered them some cash up front that they can put in their pocket immediately, and I also sweetened the pot in a very, very special way that I'll have to explain in another video another day. But the point is that they actually accepted my offer, and I was beside myself because this is literally the first offer I ever put on any home ever. I am a first-time home buyer, and in this market, they say that you have to put an offer upon offer upon offer, and you keep getting the door, proverbially speaking, slammed in your face, and you have to just keep trying and keep grinding away looking at different homes. Now, I've probably looked at maybe about 16 to 20 homes. I can't really recall right now, but it's been quite a bit of homes so far to look at, I think. And out of all those homes, I've only been actually interested enough in 3 to put in an offer, and the other 2, I didn't put offers in quick enough and they evaporated off the market. This was one of the homes that got evaporated off the market, but then was put back on the market because one of the buyers had what they called buyer's remorse. And it wasn't because of the condition of the home so much as it was that they put offers in on a bunch of other properties, and they were probably happy with getting their offer accepted on some other home out there. So they had to back out of the deal, and it opened up room for me to put in my offer. The amazing thing is that my offer was not as high as some of the other offers they received. However, because all my paperwork was in order and I was ready to go, they were ready to accept my offer because they just want this headache over with. So I'm going to fix my invisible tie that I'm not wearing and walk a little taller today about all that stuff. So now tomorrow is going to be a very busy day for me. I managed to schedule a home inspection with a qualified, very, very reputable company that gets 5-star reviews from a bunch of people and they're going to do a sewer scope. They're going to do a full inspection of the inside of the house. They're going to test for mold. They're going to test for all sorts of stuff. And the way the house looks right now, it looks like it's been very, very, very well maintained. I can't wait to show it to you, in fact. But at the same time, I don't want to get my hopes up too much over this because it might turn out to be not a good investment as per what the home inspector may say. Maybe I'll think about it a little bit longer and it turns out that maybe that's not the home for me. Maybe I want to wait a little bit longer for the markets to correct themselves. But once again, none of us have a crystal ball. Some of the realtors I'm talking to, they suggest that there might be a market correction in the next 1 to 4 years, depending on who you're talking to and what metrics you're using and what sort of analysis you have. And they're gauging this based off the principles of supply and demand and just their experience with how the real estate market works. However, I think there's something that a lot of people don't take in consideration is black swan events. For instance, the one that happened in 2020 that happened all over the planet. I mean, that changed the world in a lot of different ways and still has a bunch of consequences we have yet to realize as a global population. I think economics is a lot more complex than many of us would give credit for, and it's a lot simpler than what some other people may claim at the same time. I know that's kind of an oxymoron, but I think that it's over-embellished and complicated in ways that doesn't need to be. And on the other hand, it's overly simplified in some other ways that I don't fully understand completely. So I'm still learning a lot about this stuff, but what goes up must come down. That's a fundamental principle in economics and gravity and just with frequency in general. If everything's a vibration, sound, light, everything goes up and down, oscillates. Everything's in a state of flux all the time. It can't just keep going in one direction forever. It's got to change at some point. Anyways, I'm going to do my own due diligence, as they say. I'm going to go in there and with my building inspector, we're going to walk through. I'm going to take this here GoPro. I'm not sure if I can post the actual inspection on the video, but I'm going to take it with me so I can review it and take notes and understand what I'm looking for when it comes to buying a home and what it's like to analyze a property in real estate. And I could use this information further down the line. Because if this home doesn't work out, I'm not wasting my $510. No, this is an educational experience. I'm gonna learn a thing or two about putting an offer on a home as well as what it is to do a home inspection. And by doing all that, I'll learn more about how to do my own due diligence in the future when it comes to purchasing new real estate. Hey, it could happen. I might end up selling this house in a couple of years at the peak of the market and then buying something for pennies on the dollar. Who knows what's gonna happen? I don't have a crystal ball. But I do know that the right time to buy a house, according to some of the world's best investors, is whenever you are ready to buy a house. It's kind of like the stock market. If you buy stocks for the long term, you are going to win. You're going to have an increase in your money. Statistically speaking, you can always bet on a bad horse or put money into a bad stock. But if you invest in like a mutual fund or something that bets on the whole entire stock market, over a long period of time, even if you buy it at all-time high and there's a crash, statistically speaking, you are going to come out on top and have your money grown. The same thing can be applied to real estate for the most part. When you buy a property, it's all about location, location, location. So there's a number of different factors that can play into how your property will be valued over time. You've got crime, you've got natural disasters, you've got geology, which is something that very often I feel people overlook. Shifting ground, various mineral rights, mass wasting, the whole phenomenon of how sloping hills work and how land moves downhill, and all sorts of other stuff when it comes to how the earth moves over a long period of time that people just don't even consider when it comes to buying properties. But even after considering all of that, property has a historic pattern of retaining and or increasing in value over a period of time. For the most part, there's always those exceptions where you buy a house in a nice area and then it just goes to complete crud and crime happens and big business that employed the whole entire city gets shut down and gets outsourced to a foreign country, and then all of a sudden everyone's sit there not knowing how to pay their bills and they have to move and leave the city, and then you're left with a ghost town that's not worth anything. Anything can happen, but I'm not going to worry about what could happen. I'm going to focus on what I can make happen in my life. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you react to it. So when I get this property, I'm going to take advantage of that big backyard and I'm going to rig a wire so I can practice my wire walking. Oh, the inside of the house is going to be fantastic. I should have my own recording studio for my music, and I'll have a much bigger living room area that I can use as a recording studio or a video production studio for here on my channel. I'm really looking forward to that. And maybe I can even get my comedy news show up and running. I've been wanting to do this concept for quite some time, and who knows, maybe it'll actually happen one day. Anyways, folks, I'm just really excited about what happened today with all of the paperwork and all of the scheduling I had to do. It took a lot out of my day, and a lot of my focus today was focused on this house that is now available for me to actually purchase. So I wasn't able to make my typical post of something has to do with whatever else is on my mind, like a top 20 video about movies in the 80s or Australian bands I like or music from my childhood or something to do with language and logic. Nope, it's all about me today and the real estate market, the global economy, and how I'm maybe gonna purchase a home for the first time in my life. And I'm excited about it. So hey, thanks very much for watching and listening to me blah 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 your ear off. I appreciate it very much. Oh, and if you're new to my channel and you're still watching this for some silly reason, I don't know why you'd be interested in watching some dude talk about his life on a treadmill, but know that I post every single day here on YouTube, as I said earlier, and I also post new circus and flow arts tutorials every single Sunday here on my channel. So if you are interested in learning the basics, the beginner level stuff of how to juggle balls, or juggle clubs, or do the subtle and fancy art of contact juggling, like David Bowie did in the Labyrinth. Pretty cool stuff. Or you can learn how to spin things on your finger, just like that. We call that pediddling. It's a very funny word. I like using it. Pediddling. Pediddling. Or you can even learn how to do the devil sticks. That right there is the circus and flow arts prop that I've been doing for the longest length of time. But the one I'm probably best known for is the art of the contact juggling. I'm not the best contact juggler out there, but I know enough to teach you the basics. And I can't teach you how to contact juggle, but I can teach you how to teach yourself how to contact juggle. All you gotta do is watch the video and have a round ball on you, and you too can learn how to do the contact juggling. Anyways, folks, I've talked your ear off long enough. Thanks very much for listening and watching this video to the end. I appreciate it more than you would ever realize. So please remember to never give up. Do your best. Stay true to you. And as always, be amazing, folks. Thanks for watching, and good night.